Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite NHL DFS plays for this Tuesday, December 5th slate. We got ourselves 8 games here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and then we'll wrap up the video with 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And before we dive into a couple of my favorite line stacks, let's highlight the 8 games that we have here tonight, showing the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Kings at Blue Jackets, Rangers at Senators, Sharks at Islanders, and the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Next set of games here, we got the Nashville Predators taking on the Chicago Blackhawks, Ducks at Avalanche, Wild at Flames, and the Devils taking on the Canucks. And then here's a quick schedule update for this week. NHL video here today and Thursday, and they got 3 NFL DFS videos coming out for you. One tomorrow, taking a first look, my final cash plays video on Friday, and my final tournament or GPP plays on Saturday. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that second line for the New York Rangers. We got Vinny Trocheck centering Artemi Panarin and Alexis Lafreniere, taking on the Ottawa Senators on the road here tonight. This line has been great for the Rangers all year long, one of the best lines in the NHL. Getting on the score sheet has not been an issue for them as they've combined for 29 goals, 43 assists, 72 points in 23 games, averaging over 3 points per game, and puck possession has been in their favor as well with a 60% Corsi. That's the 11th best in the NHL, and I like just targeting the Rangers power play here tonight. They've been very good on the power play all year long, scoring at a 30% rate, and the Senators really struggle on the penalty kill, hitting at just a 73.5% rate. That's the 6th worst in the NHL. We're going to see Panarin and Trocheck play up on the Rangers' #1 power play, and Lafreniere play down on their second. Now, with this second line stack here, I originally was going to highlight that first line for the Nashville Predators of Ryan O'Reilly centering Philip Forsberg and Gustav Nyquist. Love the matchup for them against Chicago, but I decided to pivot away from that, and while I will be playing that first line for Nashville tonight, I wanted to get a little more contrarian on this video and highlight this second line here for the New Jersey Devils. That's Nico Hischier centering Jesper Bratt and Andre Palat. It's a cheaper line stack who've played very well together this year. In fact, they have a 73% Corsi rate. That's first in the NHL, and almost a 78% expected goals percentage. That's also first in the NHL. So considering those numbers and how affordable they are, I did like them here in this matchup tonight. And again, just one of those situations where I'll probably be targeting the Devils' #1 power play, as they've scored at a 36% rate this year. That's the best in the NHL, and the Canucks have really struggled on the penalty kill, and that was the situation for them last year. This year they're hitting at a 75% rate, and that's 9th worst in the NHL. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get GriffDogg Sports here to 4,000 subs by the end of 2023. If you haven't subbed yet here today and can help us out there, again, I would really appreciate that. I'm going to have hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards, and the first guy that I want to highlight is Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings, priced at $8,200 here tonight in a matchup on the road against the Buffalo Sabres. Larkin's been great for the Red Wings this year, 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points in 21 games, and I like this spot against Buffalo, who have really struggled here defensively as of late, allowing 4 goals per game with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 55% rate in their last 6 games, and we're going to see Larkin play up on the first line in #1 power play, and another situation where we can maybe target the #1 power play for the Red Wings here tonight, as they've scored at a 33.3% rate in their last 5 games. Now, the next guy that I'm going to highlight here is Valeri Nichushkin of the Colorado Avalanche, but honestly, if we can play that first line of him, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen, by all means, I think that's in play here tonight, or just target their #1 power play. It's very expensive to do that, and that's why I'm highlighting Val here at $6,800, because he's the cheapest of the 3 on that first line, in a great spot here tonight against the Anaheim Ducks at home, who have really struggled here over the last month, just going 2-8-0 in their last 10 games, allowing 4.30 goals per game with a penalty kill that's hit at a 77% rate, but I like targeting the number one power play for the Avs tonight because this Ducks team is not afraid to take penalties, leading the NHL with 4.83 minor penalties per game. So again, I like targeting the number one power play or that first line. It's expensive to do that, hence the reason I'm highlighting Val here, the cheapest of the three on that first line at $6,800. But now let's get into some of these cheaper forward plays here. First one that I want to highlight in the 5K range is Bo Horvat of the New York Islanders, priced at $5,400 in a great matchup at home against the San Jose Sharks, a team that's allowed 4 goals per game so far this year, the most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 72.5% rate. That's the second worst in the NHL. Horvat has 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points through 22 games, but is riding a 3-game point streak right now where he's put up 2 goals and 2 assists, hoping he can build on that, playing on their first line and number one power play. And then dipping into the 4K range of forwards here, Quinton Byfield stuck out to me at $4,400 on the road tonight against the Blue Jackets. Solid opportunity play with him up on that first line with Kempe and Kopitar, and also playing up on that number one power play. He's actually mispriced in my opinion. He's had 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points here in his last 16 games. In my opinion, based off those numbers, he should be priced in the 5K range, so I'll absolutely take advantage of that here in this matchup against Columbus. And then another 4K forward play that I like here tonight is Gustav Nyquist of the Nashville Predators, priced at $4,200 here tonight in a matchup on the road against Chicago. Name drop that first line with him, O'Reilly, and Forsberg earlier. This is an opportunity play again when you're priced in the low 4K range, playing up on the first line and number one power play. You're probably going to catch my attention, but Nyquist has taken advantage of this opportunity, putting up 3 goals, 14 assists, 17 points in 24 games. And again, just a good spot here against Chicago, a team that's allowed 3.70 goals per game this year, the third most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. That's the 9th worst in the NHL. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and there are some nice spend-up options here tonight, but one guy that caught my attention right away was Noah Dobson of the New York Islanders, priced at $6,500, again in a great matchup at home against the San Jose Sharks. Dobson is a very well-rounded defenseman, someone who can absolutely get on the score sheet. He's got 5 goals, 16 assists, 21 points in 23 games this year, averaging close to 25 plus minutes per game. But again, he's someone who can rack up Draftkings points in multiple ways. Not only can he get on the score sheet, but he also fires the puck at a decent rate, averaging close to 2.5 shots on net per game, and he's not afraid to block shots either, averaging 2.7 block shots per game. And again, don't forget, you get 3 block shots in a game, you get that 3-point Draftkings bonus. And there were actually quite a few decent plays here in the 5K range tonight, a number of different guys that I could have highlighted, but I think we have to talk about Mackenzie Weegar here. He's doing it all right now for the Calgary Flames, priced at $5,600 in a matchup at home against the Minnesota Wild. Another well-rounded defenseman who can rack up Draftkings points in multiple ways. He's put up 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points in 24 games this year, averaging close to 2.5 shots on net per game and close to 2.5 block shots per game as well, playing around 21 plus minutes per night on that second power play and on the penalty kill. But if you just go look at his game log on DraftKings, again, this is a guy who can rack up Draftkings points in multiple different ways, and that's reflected on his game log. Now, assuming that Cale Makar does not play here tonight for the Colorado Avalanche, Devon Toews is a great value play at $4,400. Talked about this matchup earlier against the Anaheim Ducks, a team that's not afraid to take penalties, and if Toews does get on that number one power play tonight, he's offering a ton of value at this price. On top of that, this is a guy who plays around 24 plus minutes per night and gets time on the penalty kill too. And then the last defenseman play that I wanted to highlight here was Luke Hughes of the New Jersey Devils, priced at $4,000 in a matchup on the road against Vancouver, primarily targeting him on that number one power play for the Devils, which again has been very good this year, and the Canucks have struggled on the penalty kill. Luke here is an offensive defenseman who's got 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points in 22 games. Plus, we got the Hughes brother narrative here. Maybe we just stack all 3 of those guys up in this matchup. You got Jack, you got Quinn, you got Luke. Luke is the cheapest of the 3 there, and again, I do like the opportunity with him playing on that Devils number one power play. Now, obviously, I didn't highlight any defensemen in the 2 to 3K range here on this video today. Didn't really love the player selection there, but a few guys did catch my attention. If you want to know those plays, join my Discord channel. It is completely free to do that. There's a link to do so in the description below on this video. If you can't find that link, just leave me a comment here on this video, and I'll send you the invite there. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you guys. If I'm looking to spend up here tonight, I do like Cam Talbot of the Los Angeles Kings, priced at $8,300 on the road against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He has been very good for Los Angeles this year with 11-4-1 record, save percentage of .930, and a goals allowed average of 1.96. He also ranks 15th of 76 qualified goaltenders this year in goals saved above expected per 60 minutes. And this Kings team is one of the best defensive teams in the NHL, having allowed just 2.29 goals per game this year. That's actually the best in the NHL. And then the other goaltender that I like here tonight is Alex Lyon of the Detroit Red Wings. We saw him get hot with the Florida Panthers towards the end of last year, and while he's only played a handful of games for Detroit this year, he has been very good in those games. Priced at $7,700 here tonight in a matchup on the road against Buffalo. You can see here in his last 3 games, he's got a save percentage of .981, goals allowed average is 0.67, 2 goals allowed on 89 shots, with 3 wins and 1 shutout. Plus, the Sabres are going to be out with 2 of their top forwards tonight in Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch. So again, like them at this price, even though it has been a small sample size. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is Michael Backlund of the Calgary Flames, priced at $3,900, a guy who plays on their third line in number 2 power play, but ice time is never an issue. This guy should play 17+ minutes here tonight, and has kind of found his game here as of late, or at least his scoring touch, putting up 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points in his last 5 games. And then on the other side of that game, I also like Marco Rossi of the Minnesota Wild, priced at $3,800, and I like the opportunity he's getting up on that first line with Kaprizov and Zuccarello, while also playing on their number 2 power play. The rookie has been good for Minnesota this year, 8 goals, 6 assists, 14 points in 22 games, and he kind of showed his upside last game with 2 goals, 4 shots on net, and 23 Draftkings points. And then the last guy that I got there is Anders Lee of the New York Islanders, priced at $3,200, currently playing up on their first line in number 1 power play. Obviously love the spot at home here tonight against San Jose, but Lee has kind of found his game here as of late too. Started this season really slow, but he's now racked up 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points in his last 6 games, so he is finding his scoring touch as well, playing around 15-16 minutes per night. Great opportunity play here tonight, especially considering the matchup. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 8-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.